Hey, how y'all doing out there? I'm back with you with another video. Today I want to do a comparison between the LGV60 and the Samsung Galaxy S20 Ultra. Both of these devices were released last year, 2020. Both are flagship devices and both are unlocked for all carriers. And they're also both 5G capable. Now, I like doing these comparisons because it's important. People want to know when they're deciding on a smartphone, which one they should go with. Now, I think both of these phones are great. They have their own different great things about them and bad things about them. I love both. That's why I have both, because there's certain things that I can get on here that I can't get on here, and things that I can't get on the V60 I can get on the S20 Ultra. So they offer different things, but they both are great devices. You can't go wrong with either device. But I just want to do a comparison to give you an idea which one, if you're considering getting one, which one do you think you should go with? All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about the price. Now, a lot of times that's the biggest thing when it comes to people, because everybody don't have money like that where they could just throw down a ton of money on a device. Some people, they have to save up, or some people can only get it through a carrier, and there are a few that can just get it outright. But price does matter. You want to get as much value as you can for your money. And also, I don't think anybody should be out there spending $1,000 for a device. I mean, if you just got it like that, then you can do that. But most people don't have money to be splurging like that. And I don't think these phones, in my opinion, are worth over $1,000 because they depreciate so rapidly after they're released. So my thing is, save your money. Wait for the price to go down to something you can live with. Or if you got a really good trade-in and the manufacturer, they're good on trade-ins, then trade what you have and get, like half the money off of it. And then I would say go get it. But to pay full price, you shouldn't do that. Not unless you have to. All right. So let's get started with the comparison. Now, when it comes to price, the LGV60, I've seen it for $388 brand new. $349 open box, $339 refurbished on eBay. So those are the prices for eBay. On Amazon, I've seen it for $408 brand new and $370 refurbished. Those are the prices that I've seen for this device on eBay and Amazon. All right. Now let's talk about the price of the S20 Ultra. Now let me say real quick before I go any further. When the LGV60 was first released, I believe it was only $799, so it was $800. So that was considerably cheaper than that of the S20 Ultra, which when it was released, it was $1,400, and that didn't even count tax. So this phone was just priced ridiculously high, and Samsung suffered because of it, because a lot of people wasn't going to spend that much money on something that cost that much. And in my opinion, it is a great device, but it definitely was not worth that price at all. Not even close. No way. All right. So when it comes to the S20 Ultra, I've seen it on eBay for $765 brand new, $650 open box, and $485 refurbished. Now, when it comes to Amazon, I've seen it for $785 brand new and $650 renewed. So you're going to get good pricing on both of these devices, considering the prices they were when they were first released, but you're going to pay considerably less money for the LGV60 when you're paying less than $400, and in some cases less than $350. So when it comes to overall price and value, you got to go with the LGV60 if you're into LG. All right. Now, first thing I want to talk about, also not the first thing, but the next thing I want to talk about is the build quality. With the LGV60, you're getting Gorilla Glass 5 on the front and Gorilla Glass 6 on the back, also with the military grade drop protection. So this phone is going to be more durable and be able to handle more drops than that of the S20 Ultra. Now, the S20 Ultra does have good build quality as well, with Gorilla Glass 6 on the front and the back, and both have an aluminum frame. But overall durability, got to go with the V60 because of that military grade drop protection rating. All right. Next, let's talk about button placement. Now, button placement is not important to everybody, but it's definitely important to me because, I don't want to have a phone where the buttons are a pain in the behind for me to reach. Now, I do love this phone, but the power button is just too high. Where my thumb is right now is where the power button should be, and it's way up here. So I basically got to stretch or reposition my hand just to get to the power button. And the power and the volume rockers on the left, along with the dedicated Google button. I prefer having all my buttons on the right. That's just me. I'm right-handed. That's just what I prefer. I'm not hating on lefties, but there are more righties than there are lefties in the world. So that's just my personal preference. And when it comes to the S20 Ultra, everything is on the right. You got the power button and you got the volume up and down, nothing on the left. And also the power button is easily reachable. So I love the button placement on the S20 Ultra more than that of the V60. Next, let's talk about design. Now, of course, all of this is subjective and personal preference, and for some people it don't matter. But there are people out there that a design of a phone does matter. So let's look at the design. So you got the V60 here with the cameras going this way, and you got this big giant camera hump on the S20 Ultra. Now, when it comes to design, for me, I like the design of the V60 way better than that of the S20 Ultra. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean everything to everybody. That's just my personal preference. I just wish Samsung had made the camera this big. It takes up more than half the back of the phone, and it just looks really odd. But I really do like the stealthy look of the V60 better. So when it comes to design, I would definitely go with the V60. Next, let's talk about always on display. As you can see, both of these have always on displays. Both are great. I always put LG number 2 behind Samsung. Samsung's always number 1. As you can see the colors, and you could basically know what notifications that you're getting on the Samsung, and you could get you get the date, the day, the time. Also, that's really important to me. You can always see the fingerprint sensor. You can't do that with the LG. You gotta just kind of guess where it's at. And I don't know why they don't give you an option to be able to see where it's at all the time. Now, if you want to turn it off, you could, but they don't even give you an option to leave it on. So I love the Samsung always has it where you can leave it on so you'll always know where it's at. And that's the way I like it. And you got your battery percentage down here as well. LG does have a great always on display as well. And also, let me just show you. When you swipe, you can see where you control your media. And you got these toggles here. You got your camera, you got your notes, you got your Wi-Fi, you got your volume, you got your Bluetooth, and you got your flashlight. So you do have, you do get, it's functional. So it's just not just showing you the time, the date, the battery percentage. It is functional. Now, why I like Samsung's a little better, because it's even more functional, despite the color, which I love, and the notifications are a little bigger. You also double tap, and you double tap again the lock screen. You get these widgets where you can control your media. You get your today's schedule. If you have a event schedule, you can see what your next alarm would be. You can check the weather, Bixby routines, and digital well-being. So I like having these widgets here. Give you more options when it comes to the always on display. So let me turn both of these on. All right. Both have great always on displays, but Samsung makes the best always on display in the business. Next, let's talk about face unlock. Now, unfortunately, the LGV60 does not have face unlock. The Samsung S20 does have face unlock. Now, I know face unlock doesn't matter to everybody. A lot of people don't care about face unlock because they say it's not that secure. But Samsung actually has made the face unlock on their devices a lot more secure. Now, not Apple face unlock secure, but still more secure than the average face unlock. So I don't have a problem. I'm just glad it has it. This is a disappointment because LG used to always put face unlocks on their devices. And for this phone to be a flagship premium device, it should have had face unlock, especially because it has a front-facing camera. So I don't know why they took away face unlock from this phone. So that's a disappointment. Next, let's talk about fingerprint sensors. Now, both, of course, have in-display fingerprint sensors, but they're a little different. Now, with LGV60, you have the in-display optical fingerprint sensor, and with the Samsung, you have the in-display ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. So this one is a way more secure than that of the LG V60. Even though the V60 is secure, don't get me wrong, but it's even more secure on the Samsung because it's literally reading the ridges in your finger. Like it's just more secure. Now, which one do I like best? I would have to go with the LG V60, and I'm going to show you why. Sorry if you didn't see that. Let me put the phone up a little closer. See that? You got an animation, and you also get some haptic feedback, which you don't get on Samsung. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't dislike it, but there's nothing. There's no animation. There's no haptic feedback or nothing. So that matters to me. I know that's not going to matter to everybody, but that matters to me. I don't know why they can't add different options for different animations. You do get to customize the fingerprint sensor on your LG V60 with different animations. And with Samsung, there is no customization. You get no animations. You get no haptic feedback, which means a little vibration. You don't get nothing. So I don't like that. So I like this fingerprint sensor on the LG better. Next, let's talk about displays. Now, when it comes to a smartphone, the display is the number one thing that matters to me, honestly. And it's just me. Now, some people it's the camera, some people it's performance, some people it's battery life. It's different for different people. But for me, that display, because that's what you're interacting with all the time. That's what you're looking at all the time. So for me, the display has to be great. Has to be. Now, with the LG V60, you're getting a 6.8-inch 1080p Full HD Plus POLED display with HDR10 Plus. Now, no Quad HD resolution available. Now, that doesn't matter to everybody. There's a lot of people that say 1080p is good enough for me. I can't tell the difference. I can tell the difference between Full HD Plus and Quad HD. But if you can't, that's fine. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the display. This is a beautiful display. There's no doubt about it. It is beautiful. It really is. I have no problem. And this display gets super, super bright. Now, let me mention also, this phone also comes with a dual screen case. Now, you buy that separately, but you can use it and you could have two screens. So it does have that capability. Now, I didn't want the dual screen case because I know I wasn't going to use it and it's just too big and bulky. But it does have the capability to give you dual screens, where you can have two screens the same size and make your multitasking experience to another level. All right. But the display on this phone is beautiful, and it does get considerably brighter than that of the S20 Ultra because you can make, there's a setting inside, a setting for the display where you can make the display even brighter than what it already is. And I already have it like at 92% brightness, but you can make it even brighter. Now, when it comes to the Samsung S20 Ultra, you got a 6.9-inch Quad HD Plus Dynamic AMOLED Infinity O display with HDR10 Plus and 120 hertz refresh rate. Now, the only thing that makes the 120 refresh rate not as great, but it's still great, is that you can only use it at Full HD Plus resolution, which is unfortunate. Now, I know they've upgraded that with the S21 Ultra, where you could use it at Quad HD and 120 hertz, but with this device you can't. But it's not that big of a deal because Full HD Plus still looks good, even though it doesn't look as good as Quad HD, but it still looks good and is acceptable, and you'll be fine with it, honestly. Now, when it comes to which display that I think is better, that's an easy answer for me. It's the Samsung S20 Ultra. It has a Quad HD Plus display. It's absolutely beautiful. And also, you can see you got the little punch hole with the Samsung, and you got no bezels whatsoever on this device. Zero bezels. with the LGV60, you do got somewhat thick bezels around the side, and of course, it's somewhat like a bezel at the top. That's only because I wanted to get rid of that notch. And let me show you what I mean by that notch. See that right there? I hate that. That's ugly. I just absolutely hate that. And the bezels are a little thicker around the sides and the bottom. You don't get any bezels on the S20 Ultra at all. So when it comes to displays, in my opinion, the S20 Ultra is better than that of the LGV60. Next, both devices are IP68 water and dust resistant. So you don't have to worry about water on either device. So you're covered when it comes to that. Let's talk about RAM. Now the LGV60 has 8 gigs of RAM, and the S20 Ultra comes with 12 gigs of RAM. So you're going to be able to hold more apps open in the background, and you're going to get when it comes to multitasking, you're going to be able to do a lot more with the Samsung S20 Ultra, sorry. Now, don't get me wrong, 8 gigs of RAM is more than enough RAM, because there's some computers don't even have 8 gigs of RAM. So 8 gigs of RAM is good, and RAM management on both of these is very, very good. But you're just going to be able to do more with 12 gigs, and you're going to be able to hold more apps open in the background because you have more RAM. But RAM management on both is very good. Next, let's talk about internal storage. Now, the LGV60 has 128 gig. Now, it does have a 256 gig variant, but this is the 128 gig variant that I have right here. And with the S20 Ultra, also 128 gigs, and it has a 512 gig variant. No 256 gig variant for the S20 Ultra, which is not right now. Based on how much this phone cost when it was released, $1,400, 128 gigs is an absolute disgrace. Samsung should have been ashamed of themselves for that. The base storage should have been 256 for this device. Then they should have did a 512 and then a terabyte, especially for that price. So 128 was an absolute disgrace, and I don't know why Samsung. I guess it's just greed. I know it has expandable memory. I understand that, but still, think about that, y'all. $1,400, only 128 gigs. That's unacceptable, especially when this phone could shoot at 8K. 8K, you're going to use up a lot of that storage. All right, next, let's talk about expandable memory. Now, with the LGV60, you're getting expandable memory up to 2 terabytes. All right, and I mean expandable storage, same thing. When it comes to the S20 Ultra, you get also expandable storage up to 1 terabyte. So when it comes to expandable storage, you're going to get more on the LGV60 at 2 terabytes, and with Samsung S20 Ultra, 1 terabyte. And both, that's more than enough, storage for anybody, even me. 2 terabytes and 1 terabyte is good, but still, you're getting more with the LGV60. All right, let's talk about the chipset and performance. Both devices come with the Snapdragon 865, so you're getting a flagship processor on both devices. So no issue when it comes to that. And also when it comes to performance is great on both devices. Nice, fast, and buttery smooth. Even though, to me, the S20 Ultra seems like it's a little bit faster, just a little bit, but performance is great on both, and both are buttery smooth. Little smoother on the S20 Ultra because you got that 120 hertz refresh rate, especially when you're scrolling. It's just buttery smooth and a lot faster. Let's talk about battery life. Now, the LGV60 comes with a 5,000 milliamp battery, and the S20 Ultra comes with a 5,000 milliamp battery. Which battery is best? There's no question. It's the LGV60. And the main thing about the LGV60 is that the standby time on this phone is phenomenal. Like, if you don't use the phone, you don't use battery, or you barely use battery, honestly. I mean, seriously, the standby time on this phone is amazing. Standby time on the S20 Ultra is terrible. Samsung has always been terrible with standby time. Maybe one day they'll figure out how to get better, because whether you use this phone or not, you're gonna be draining battery. Now, I'm not saying that to tell you that the battery life on this phone is bad. It's not. It's excellent. You easily get through a day. You're gonna get through a day easily on both of these. but you can get 2 days easily with heavy usage on the LGV60. Now, I know battery life is subjective. Everybody uses their phone differently, but I'm telling you, the battery life is better on the LGV60. Now, you may say, well, it's because it's only using the 1080p and this is using the Quad HD. Well, I'm not using Quad HD. I'm using 1080p because I want to use the 120 hertz refresh rate. Well, you may say, well, because maybe this is only using 60 frames per second. Let me say this. LG has always been better at battery life than Samsung because I've had a bunch of LG phones, I've had a bunch of Samsung phones. When it comes to battery life, LG has always been better. That's just a fact. That's just my experience. I'll say that. Okay, that's my experience. So both have the same size battery, but the battery life on LG V60 is better than the S20 Ultra. But you'll get through a day with either. Now, I'll be honest, you could get probably, if you take the 120 hertz off, you could get 2 days out of this phone too. And keep in mind, everybody don't have their brightness at 95% like I do, because I like my phone super bright. So if you're the person like your brightness maybe at 60 to 70%, and maybe you say, well, I want my Quad HD, I don't need the 120 hertz, you're going to get phenomenal battery life out of this device as well. But you're going to get phenomenal battery life on the LG V60 no matter what the settings are. It don't matter. And remember, you're stuck at 1080p and 60, so it's not going to matter. But like I said, both are great, but the LG V60 is better in my opinion. Next, let's talk about battery charging speeds. Now, with the LG V60, you get Quick Charge 4.0, which is a really old technology, which is going to take almost 2 hours to fully charge this phone. And with the S20 Ultra, you're getting 45 watt super fast charging, which you can basically charge this phone in less than an hour. 53 minutes. 53 minutes, okay? And also, you're getting Power Share, which is AK reverse wireless charging, which means I could take this phone, stick it on the back of this phone, and charge it, or take a watch, charge it, or a pair of wireless earbuds. So you got faster charging speeds, and you're getting also reverse wireless charging on the S20 Ultra. This phone is slow when it comes to charging, and that's a big battery, so to have to wait, almost 2 hours is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, let's talk about wireless charging. Both devices offer wireless charging. However, the wireless charging on the V60 is very, very slow. Takes over 3 hours to fully charge this phone from 0 to 100. With the S20 Ultra, you're getting 15 watt fast wireless charging. Takes you about 2.5 hours. So when it comes to wireless charging, they both have it, but you're getting faster charging speeds on the S20 Ultra. All right, let's talk about audio quality. Now, when it comes to the LG V60, you're getting a 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. With the S20 Ultra, you're also getting a 32-bit DAC, but you're not getting a hi-fi quad DAC. And when it comes to overall stereo quality, like when you plug in a set of headphones, the LG V60 is vastly superior to the S20 Ultra. It is just killing the S20 Ultra when it comes to audio, because this device has a headphone jack. This device does not. So when it comes to overall audio, if you're a person that's an audiophile, or you're a person that really heavily into the audio, you're definitely going to love the audio experience on the LG V60. Is the S20 Ultra 32-bit DAC bad? No, because you do get an equalizer. You can adjust the music and however you want, but it still doesn't compare to that 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC in the LG V60. Next, and I just mentioned that, you got a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack in the LG V60. You got no headphone jack on the S20 Ultra. Next, let's talk about future software updates. With the LG V60, it's currently rocking Android 11, and LG said they would upgrade this phone to Android 13. With the Samsung S20 Ultra, it also has Android 11, and it's also going to get Android 13. So when it comes to future software updates, you're going to be good on either device. Both are going to be upgraded to Android 13. Hopefully, LG will keep their word and give these this phone the next two Android updates. Hopefully, that's what they said. So I'm just going to take them at their word. So if you're concerned about future updates on either, don't be. All right, let's talk about the operating system. Now, LG has its own skin on top of Android, and Samsung has One UI also on top of Android. Both are very customizable, but Samsung offers more features. So if you're a person that's into features like me, you're going to want the S20 Ultra. You're going to get way more features. If you're a person that is not that big of a deal with features because you may feel like a lot of the features on the Samsung device are gimmicky, then go with the LGV60 because it is definitely customizable. Both are customizable, but the Samsung is highly more customizable and has more features than that of the V60. All right. Now, both devices have Bluetooth 5.1, NFC, FM radio, screen recording, and screen sharing. Now, let's talk about mobile pay. Now, this is something LG did I don't know how long it's been available, but LG also now has LG Pay. And of course, everybody know Samsung has Samsung Pay, which is accepted everywhere. Now, I have not used LG Pay yet, but I have used Samsung Pay, and you could pretty much use it anywhere. So I love Samsung Pay. Next, let's talk about edge lighting. Both devices offer edge lighting. The only difference is LG, you can only see the edge lighting when the device is off, when the screen is off. And it's not customizable at all. You can't customize it, change the duration, the colors, or how thin or how wide. You just can't do that. You'll just get the same animation every time your phone is off. With the Samsung S20 Ultra, you could definitely customize the edge lighting however you want. The duration, how thin or thick it is, how slow, how fast, what type of lighting you want. Way more customizable, and you could get it whether the phone is off or on. So definitely advantage Samsung when it comes to edge lighting. Edge panels, the V60 does not have edge panels. Samsung does, of course. These right here. Well, I'm trying to find out where it is. There it is. So you got these edge panels, and these are very useful. At least to me, I use them all the time. So those are big time for me. I love edge panels. Next, now let's talk about some things that the LG V60 offers that the S20 Ultra does not offer. Pin support, the Google feed, and screen off memo. You're not getting those things on the S20 Ultra. Now, if I miss some things, I do apologize. Y'all can leave me something in the comments to let me know what I missed. Sometimes I'm going to miss things. I'm not going to, get everything correct. So do excuse me if I missed out something. I did mention some other things like the quad DAC, the headphone jack, things like that. I did mention those things. All right. All right. Next thing, let's talk about some of the things that the S20 Ultra offers that the V60 don't. Samsung Pass, Samsung Dex, floating notifications, link to Windows, dynamic lock screen and live wallpapers, the side key. Now the side key, what I mean is the power button. You could use it to open up any app, and I like that. As opposed to LG V60 just have the Google button. You can't, remap it to do anything else. It's just to open up Google, that's it. But with the side key on the S20 Ultra, you could open up any app. If you could assign any app to that button. Also, rotating home screen. Now, that's important. Now, I don't know why LG took this. Like, you can't rotate the home screen. Now, that's very important for me when I'm in my car and I want to, I don't want to look like an Uber driver, which nothing wrong with Uber drivers. I love them and I've used them from time to time. But I don't always want my phone like that. I want to be able to turn it this way, and I want that screen to rotate. So that's important to me, and it's unfortunate that the LG V60 doesn't offer that. Now, if you use a Nova Launcher, you could force it to rotate. But if you just want to use the LG launcher, then you're not going to get that. Also, the S20 offers secure folder, music share, good lock, which adds an extra layer of customization, Bixby routines, and also you get a pair of AKG tuned USB Type-C headphones in the box. when it comes to the S20 Ultra. Now, something I almost missed and didn't mention here in this comparison, both have dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. And I'm going to tell you right now, they both sound good, but the LGV60 speakers are superior to that of the S20 Ultra. They're louder and they have better depth of sound. This sounds good, don't get me wrong, but these are great, honestly. They really are. Like, to me, they're right behind the Mi 10 Pro 5G as far as sound quality and loudness, because the Mi 10 has the best speakers I've ever heard on any smartphone. And these come in definitely second. And then I would say my my Galaxy Fold. All right, so let's get to the cameras. Now, a lot of times the camera is very important to a lot of people. I'm not overly crazy into the camera like that. I'm really not. I'm not a photographer and videographer. I'm not heavily into the cameras, but I do know what looks good to me. Now, when it comes to the cameras, now let's talk about the LGV60 first. So you're getting a 64 megapixel main lens with optical image stabilization, 13 megapixel ultra wide, 3 megapixel time of flight sensor on the rear. So you're getting 3 cameras on the rear with the LGV60. No telephoto lens, which is unfortunate, but you're just not getting one. Now, when it comes to video, the rear cameras on the LGV60 shoots at 8K at 30 frames per second, 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second, 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second, and you're getting a 24-bit, 192 hertz stereo sound recording. And I can say this, the video quality on this device is phenomenal. It's great, especially with that manual recording option. I mean, it looks great. It really does. All right, now with the selfie camera with the LGV60, you're getting the 10 megapixel standard lens, no wide angle, which is a disappointment, but it shoots at 4K at 30 and 60 frames per second and 1080p at 30 and 60 frames per second. So you're getting high quality on the rear cameras and the front cameras. All right, let's talk about the S20 Ultra. Now with the S20 Ultra, 108 megapixel wide angle lens with optical image stabilization, 48 megapixel periscope telephoto lens with optical image stabilization with 4 times optical zoom and 10 times hybrid zoom. You're also getting 12 megapixel ultra wide with super steady video and a 3 megapixel time of flight depth sensor. And I'm going to tell you right now, the photo quality on this device is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Now, with the rear cameras, they shoot at 8K at 24 frames per second. So you're getting better stabilization with the LGV60 because it shoots at 30 frames at 8K. So with 8K at 24, it's really not that excuse me for a second. It's really not that stable. It shakes a lot. So when it comes to quality, when it comes to video, it's going to be a little bit better on the V60. So you're getting 24 frames per second at 8K, 4K at 30 and 60, 1080p at 30 and 60, and 240 frames per second at 1080p, and 720p at 960 frames per second. You're getting HDR10 plus stereo sound recording. So you're getting stereo sound recording on both of these devices. And with the selfie camera, you're getting a 40 megapixel wide angle that shoots at 4K at 30 and 60 and 1080p at 30 and 60. Now, for me, which one has better cameras? I gotta go with the S20 Ultra. These cameras are absolutely amazing. Now, the S20 Ultra did have a focusing issue when it first released. Samsung has dropped a lot of updates to try to fix it. It still hunts a little bit, but it's not nowhere near as bad as it was when I first got it. So it's vastly improved, but the photo and the video quality is great. I mean, really, especially I was testing out the video quality on the front-facing camera. Wow, it looked beautiful. I mean, and the photo quality is great. Now, I'm going to be honest, when it comes to that manual mode, the LGV60 is a beast. I'm telling you straight up. It's a beast. You're also going to get more versatility With the Samsung, you're going to get way more shooting modes, if that matters to you. Now, for me, I'm more of a point and shoot guy, so that's not a big deal for me. But for those that are heavily into the camera, you like a lot of different modes and stuff, you're going to get that with the S20 Ultra over the V60. You still get good modes on both, but you're going to get more versatility with the S20 Ultra. But when it comes to the video, phenomenal. Very good video, but phenomenal on the V60. But the photos, I got to give that to the S20 Ultra. They just look better to me. You know, they just do. But you're going to get great photos on the V60 as well. Now, I know some people are going to disagree. They may go say, well, I think the V60 is better. And you're entitled to your opinion. I'm just telling you based on what looks good, what it looked like to me, and my comparison between the two, looking at the photos. The S20 Ultra just looks better. But when it comes to video, I'm definitely going with the V60. All right, so that was my comparison between the LGV60 and the S20 Ultra. Like I said, you can't go wrong with both. Both are flagships. Both are beastly devices. Both are perform great. Both got great battery life. Both have IP68 water and dust resistance. Great speakers. Great cameras. Great build quality. I mean, you can't go wrong with either device. You're going to get a great device no matter which one you choose. It's just a matter of personal preference. Okay, you're going to get a better display on this. You're going to get better battery life on this. You know, you're going to get good speakers. You're going to get great speakers on this one. You get good video. You're going to get great video on this one. You're going to get good photos. You're going to get great photos. So, just pick your thing. 32-bit hi-fi quad DAC. You're not getting the superior audio is going to be with the LG. And also, you're getting that headphone jack. You're not getting that on here. So, I like them both. Like I said, I have reasons why I get certain phones because I like them for different reasons. This one, mainly, that headphone jack, that hi-fi quad DAC, battery life, videos. That's why I like this phone the most when it comes to that. This one, the display, the features, loaded with features. I just love this phone, and that display and that 120 hertz, just butter. The photo quality, this phone is an absolute monster. So it's like you can't go wrong with either. So thank you for taking the time to view this content. I do appreciate it. I hope everybody's staying safe out there, and I'll check you guys out in the next video. Peace.